We're at Revolution Studios in Toronto for Intimate and Exposed. It's a musical celebration that features the Dominic Mancuso Group. I'm Walter Van Afro. I'm going to be the host for tonight. From what I understand, we'll hear music from Dominic's Juno Award-winning recording, Comfortably Mine, and music from his forthcoming album, Suburban Gypsy.
Sento allegre stamattina, aiutata la rete a me, tanta pesce di e peschere, e mi sento da te. Quello pesce caramelle, l'ho pescato stamattina, e te la vengo a ponderchete, e perché mi vuoi sposare? Pure di femmina, un paese, aiutata la bancarella. La prende in già la paletta, quello pesce caramelle, l'ho pescato stamattina, io te la vinno a buon perché, e perché mi vuoi sposare? Canta, chi la vedi?
Very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was DMG performing at Toronto's Revolution Recording Studio. That is so nostalgic for me. That takes me back. So right now, I wanted to take the time to just tell you a little bit about that group of people that have been enriching my life. That was Mr. Tony Zorzi on banjitar, Jerry Caringi on accordion, Johnny Johnson on clarinet, Rosendo Cendeleon on bongos, and Paco Luviano on contrabasso, acoustic bass. That is DMG, ladies and gentlemen. That was in 2013. That was probably the early stages of the formation of this group. This group goes back to 2010, its narrative, and I just wanted to really feature them today and tell you a little bit about how the group was born, how it evolved over the past 10 years, actually a decade in evolution. And that particular performance, like I said, was at Toronto's Revolution Recording Studio, and that was like six people around one mic. We went real old school on that one. That song, Pescevendolo, was off the Juno record. And it was the Juno record that really catapulted me to think about creating a group uh, because I had to perform the music on the record. The Dominic Mancuso Group formed out of the need to perform live. And as I was assembling musicians that could play my music as I was touring Comfortably Mine, I started to really connect with this group of musicians. I go way back with some of them further. Some of them I had just met. I met Rosendo at the Junos in 2010. And during the festivities, he came up to me and said, "Look, I really like your music, and I would love the opportunity to perform with you in the future." And so as 2011 and 12 started to roll around and I was touring the Juno record, I decided to call Chandien and incorporate him into my touring band. And the band was sounding so good that I just had to find a way to capture the chemistry. And so we decided to work on the follow-up record together. And really, the Dominic Mancuso Group started to formulate itself in the recording studio. All the cats are accomplished session musicians in the city. And, I did a feature on Tony a couple weeks back. But all these guys are working with so many different projects. They're first call guys, and they're extraordinary talents. And it's a privilege to have them in my life. And so as the years went on, we continued to perform together, and we had made the Suburban Gypsy record, which was the follow-up to the Juno. And this particular record, as we started to give birth to it and we released it, there were people that wanted to bring us to Italy. One person of note, Professoressa Elena Lamberti, invited me to come to Italy to perform work from the Comfortably Mine record. And this particular record had just been recorded, but we weren't ready to release it. So we staged a fundraising event, and that was the video clip that you just saw. The fundraising event was called Intimate and Exposed with the Dominic Mancuso Group. And we took off to Italy shortly after that. So that was one of the early performances as a group. So that's why it's pretty nostalgic for me to see that kind of footage. So we took off to Italy, but during the process of touring through Italy from the north to the south, this group of people, this tribe, I like to refer to them as a tribe of people, was really, really starting to formulate a compassion and love for each other and a freedom to just be ourselves. So when we came back from that Italian tour, and I felt that it was just to release this body of work under the banner DMG. And the acronym was, yes, derived from my name, but really it was to give this group of people an entity. And so DMG was born during that tour. And in the liner notes to that record, it states how I felt about the process. And we continued performing together. And this particular record, the Suburban Gypsy record, garnered us a very beautiful accolade. The European Commission awarded me position at the table with 7 other international artists to be a part of this organization called Perform Migrations. And really, that's where our Euorpean tour started to hit the horizon. We started to realize that there was potential in what we were doing, and we returned to Europe with the 6-piece and a sound technician, and we traveled from Lisbon back to Italy, all through Italy, through Sicily, to Malta, and back. And right now, I want to take us to that moment in time with the Dominic Mancuso Group in the Teatro Garibaldi in Modica, Sicily. Enjoy this performance. It features all the members in a theatrical context. And once we finish this video clip, I'm going to get everybody here. They're waiting in the wings. So enjoy the clip. This is Saudade from the record Suburban Gypsy. Questo pezzo si chiama Saudade, la parola portoghese che parla di lo nostalgia, ma non solo nostalgia. Nostalgia è troppo semplificato. Una mancanza profonda, profonda, non solo nostalgia. Girl kept on weeping. Oh, why? Pourquoi quitter son pays? Oh, why? Oh, why do we embrace the unknown? Nostalgia. It's the night wind on the grass. It's nostalgia. It's the sea rolling with the past. Pourquoi quitter son pays? And why do we embrace the unknown? Melody for what I've lost. I said peace to you today. Living with saudade. It's the color of flames. The past. Oh, okay. Oh, why can't erase your face? Oh, okay. I must have come here to learn a thing. Saudade. Melody for what we've lost. I said peace today. Living with saudade. Living with saudade. Melody for what we've gained. Yes, we're living with saudade. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the Dominic Mancuso Group.
We got Chen De Leon on drums and percussion, Tony Zorzi on the guitars, Paco Luviano on basses, Jerry Caringi, Papa Bear on accordion and keyboards, and Johnny Johnson on woodwinds.
I was really excited about doing this show with you guys because I love you like brothers, and we've been through a lot the last 8 years. Hopefully the future looks bright and we can do more, and we're going to get through this together, and here we are together. I just, when I was thinking about a piece for us to perform that could galvanize, our frame of mind, our musical strengths, an approach to performing together around my songs, I couldn't help but use Fast-Paced Life as the springboard to this this kind of energy that I feel with you guys. And you guys beautifully this week came together and added some beautiful, beautiful performances to my composition. I had it all in my head. I knew what I wanted. But man, I just set up the condition for you guys to walk through that door, and you guys played beautifully. This is the premiere. It's a beautiful message. I want to offer it out to all our viewers here that are following us on this vibing show. And then once the video's done, we're going to get back to hanging out with the boys, and we're going to have some intimate conversation. So enjoy Fast-Paced Life.
Are you living in a hurry? Senseless to the day. Do you take the time to see what you're not? It's a fast-paced life. Heedless people have crossed my ways, self-indulgent vanities. Do they ever stop to see what's around them? You know, this world is on the brink. Something's extinct, 'cause we're just consuming. I'm not presuming, living in a vacuum. Why don't you just stop and see what you got? Hey! With science and technology running their race, they're thinking about the future. I'd rather think about today. Such a dynamic world. Got evangelists and the poor. We got needs, I'm sure. We got bombs in the Olympics, presidents and their tactics. It's such a dynamic world. Such a dynamic world. One day the blast will come and the truth it stares us in the face. One day we'd wish that life was fair. One day we're here, one day we're not here anymore. We can't change a thing, it's all behind us now. It's behind you now. It's behind
thinking about his mother, thinking about his dad. He's thinking about what he had. Does it make you think? Well, then we should start to think. Are we living in a vacuum? Then why don't we just stop and see what we got? Hey! Why don't we just stop? Saludos to the boys of DMG.
Salud para todos.
Cheers.
What would Jerry say? The plays better when we drink tequila, right?
Exactly.
Fast-paced life with the boys of DMG. Great job, boys. Mr.
Thank
Chen
you.
de Leon on drums and percussion.
Thank you.
Paco Luviano on electric bass. Jerry Caringi playing keyboards, all the marimba patches, and Tony Zorzi on electric guitar. So, we got through that, and here we are.
That was good. Good mix there, Dom.
Thank you. Thank you. I worked hard on that one. I cared about it. You guys played so well. I really wanted to be just by your beautiful performances.
You really captured the sounds beautifully. Beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. And you guys did a good job engineering your recordings. We can only do our part, right? It's symbolic to, this COVID crisis where we all got to do our part. And collectively, we can do some beautiful things. Right now, I want to turn the floor to you guys. I was thinking about what we could talk about. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we let the guys dictate what they're going to talk about? So I just thought, why not pose a simple question? What was a memorable moment being part of DMG? Let's start with you, Chendi.
To me, it was the concert at the plaza in Delia, where
The concert in the Piazza Matrice in my parents' home birth town.
because it connected me back to my childhood, which is a precious time. Because you don't think of anything. You just so innocent. You choose your friends based on how you politics, religion, none of that stuff matters at the time because you're not aware. And then you just play with them, whether it is a game or music. And being in that town so small and seeing the community and the energy of everybody, it brought me back to my town, which is very important to me. I always consider myself not Cuban, neither Canadian. I'm a human being just like everybody is. But that childhood is so important for everybody that if it's dramatic, it marks you for the rest of your life. But if it's beautiful, it also does the same thing in reverse. So to me, that was a memorable time. And seeing your dad from there and you dedicated that concert to the town where they came from, going through so much in their life, leaving behind what they knew. So I related to that because I'm also an immigrant.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, that's all of them are precious, but that was like incredible.
So for our viewers that are just tapping into the show right now, I asked my bandmates in the Dominic Mancuso Group, I said to Chendi, what was the most memorable DMG moment that you had? And he referred to a moment on our 2013 tour of Italy where we ended the tour off symbolically in my parents' hometown. And they received us with such love. They staged this beautiful opportunity to perform for them in the Piazza Matrice, their center square
and it was a very spiritual give and take for the audience and for the performers. And Chendi was relating to his youth and how impressionable that experience was, because it connected him to those memories of his hometown. And so, thanks, Chendi. I'm glad you connected to that on that level, because for me, it was huge, right? Like, it was spiritually monumental for me. So I'm glad I could share that with you, and you can connect on that level. You know, Jerry, we've shared many memories. What's been a memorable moment for you?
Well, the first tour was grand, but I remember even going to the second tour where JJ joined us. The first tour, JJ wasn't with us.
Right.
But the second tour, I remember very much the experience in that theater that was way in that cave,
Right.
inside that cave in Matera, I think we were.
Mhm.
That was an incredible experience, and I would have never imagined such a beautiful theater with seating in a cave of that nature, and the sound, from what I remember that night, was just outstanding. I remember.
I didn't
quite an
expect that
experience.
from the cave.
And that audience was just, anything we played, they were just so receptive. Everywhere
was
we went, they were very receptive.
It was the Jazz Society, right, Jerry?
Yeah, it was the Jazz Society.
Yeah.
The Jazz Society of Matera hosted us during our 2016 One World No Borders tour, which was created in tandem with the University of Bologna and the European Commission out of Brussels. And
That whole experience for me was unbelievable.
shortly after, it was going to be hosting Europe as the capital city of culture. But yeah, that was a magical city, Jerry, and I'm glad you were there to experience that.
That was incredible.
Yeah. How about you, Paco? What do you go? We go way back, right? 90s, you and I, late 90s.
At least.
A lot of memories.
Yeah, that question is a bit intricate, just because we have so many experiences. I mean, personally, it's hard to just pinpoint one. I have two in mind right now, but because it was such a beautiful time in Italy, not just us as friends hanging out and doing music, but the experience of connecting with Italy was just unbelievable. And for sure, I can just bring two of my experiences. One, I agree with Chendi on your town, and my reason for liking so much to be in Delia, and I was telling this to a friend of yours, Sarina Paris, which is from there as well.
Yep.
As soon as we got into the town and we got off our van, everybody was talking to us like if they knew who we were.
Right.
And the only time I ever experienced that is in my father's town and outside of Acapulco, because they know who you are, they know your family, and it was almost the same feeling. And it was crazy because I never been here before in my life, and all of a sudden I'm welcome without even knowing these people. They don't know who I am. So that was pretty cool, and I will never forget that for sure. It's like I feel like Delhi is my second twin city of my parents' house, kind of thing, my parents' town.
Beautiful.
And the second experience that I can remember that is really strong is Bologna, the museum in Bologna, the anthropology museum, right?
Museo Civico.
Yeah, just playing on the atrium outside.
The party
with
that was
with
the
the
2013 tour.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh no, man, with the statues around and all that culture and us playing live acoustically in front of the people was just amazing.
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then leave it there.
Mr. Zors
So
has
much
been
stuff.
waiting patiently in the wings. Tony, that Japanese maple looks beautiful, by the way. It almost looks like an afro coming out of your hair, coming out of your head. Oh, now you've screwed it up. It was just so perfect. It was like an afro.
Okay, hold on. Okay, is that better?
Beautiful. Perfect.
There you go.
So what about you, Tony? We've of all the musicians, we featured you on episode number 2, but we go back, and so you've had the most memories. But with this ensemble, we've had our share. Which one sticks out the most to you?
You know what? This might sound like I'm kind of cheating or copping out, but that what Paco just mentioned, and there's 2 or 3. That one at the Archive Museum where they were restoring the old statues.
Yes.
And the thing I remember specifically about that, first of all, it was in that outdoor atrium, and the sound was unbelievable. And that, to me, that's always important. Like if I have to fight a bad sounding room or something, but that was, and I just remember those. You probably guys remember too, like those beautiful symphony of those little tiny little birds. I think they're very native to like Bologna. I've never seen it, and there's just constant like almost, I don't know what it was. It was so magical, just playing so whisper quiet to maybe 30, 40 people at the most.
Max, yeah.
But in the background like that, it was almost like the best ride cymbal you've ever heard in your life, or like a sizzle cymbal, just this constant, beautiful kind of like background of these tweeting birds. But anyway, and there was other instances like that. I'm trying to remember what cities. It might have been maybe Florence, where we played that very, very small.
The plaza, the outdoor.
No, it was indoors, a very small room, super echoey. We thought, how are we going to play this?
Oh no, that's Bologna. That was the same.
That was Bologna.
Yeah, that was a museum indoor.
The same
second time.
Indoor, yeah.
Second tour, yeah.
And it was the total opposite. The sound was.
We made it work.
We just played literally acoustically, I think, right? I don't think you could. There's nothing you could, if you would amplify anything, like 5 rows back, it would just sound like the reverb mix was on 100%.
Yeah.
But we made it work again. There's a couple and I remember, and I think it was just the trio, wasn't it? When we went to the interior of BC, was that me, you, Paco, for sure?
Paco.
Yeah.
We did BC twice. We did it with Jerry once, and then we did it with Paco once as a trio.
It was just the time with Paco, I'm thinking it was it was a nice theater, but very small audience.
Yeah.
But man, when we get a chance to kind of just play and listen to each other, and the PA system's not an issue and everything, we're just playing and we're facing each other. Magic stuff happens.
Yeah.
And apart from all the stories, Dom, I want to commend you on the planning of both tours, the experience, and how complex it was for you to plan. The accommodations, the meals were out of bounds.
Yeah.
And the treatment with Professor Lamberti, and the accommodations and the chefs were just amazing. Everything was amazing.
Yeah, we got
surreal, actually.
Yeah, it was a pretty off the hook.
Right from the airport, from the get go, you know.
Guys,
good group of musicians,
you guys get this, but I'm saying this for the public to get. To me, the music is the vehicle to living, and I think you guys got that right from the onset with me, and I think they both inform each other. And the music gets nurtured and amplified because of our humanity. And our humanity gets influenced and amplified because of the music. And so there's this thing that is at work. And sorry, I'm hearing an echo and it's driving me crazy. But that whole process was so important for me to experience it in that way, because it would be pointless to go to those efforts to not extract as much of the experience and the humanity in the journey. And so I'm glad you guys connect with that. But that's why you're here. I could have chosen, there's so many talented musicians in Toronto. There's a reason why I've kind of hung my hat on you guys. And it's because I think we're on that frequency, that humanity is at the center of everything that we're doing. And our talents and our developed talents and our God-given talents come to the surface through that, and we find solace in that. And I'm just blessed, and I want to thank you. And this day was really to pay homage to you guys. And may we stay healthy, and may your families be solid through these trying times. I know we're solid, and we're still making music as we presented what we did this week. And
Great stuff.
there's this one piece that I want to close this show off because it's that time. And thematically, it's called "Love to Be Loved," and I'm sure we all want to be loved. So on that note, I want to give big love to you all and to the public, and may you enjoy this performance. This performance, I'll give it some context, was from the Revolution recording studio when this band started to percolate, when it really started to come to flourishing in terms of its chemistry, in terms of its potential. You heard some world music earlier in the show. You heard some new stuff, as in fast-paced life. This stuff here is going to keep pushing the fusion of jazz and rock and funk. And I'm excited to announce that there is a new project that's going to be released hopefully this fall, if the circumstances permit. It's a collaboration with the great pianist Vittorio Mezza, and it features the Dominic Mancuso Group. We were supposed to release it a couple weeks ago, but the circumstances did not permit. So I just wanted to segue out to say, listen out for some beautiful music to be released in the fall. And it will feature the Dominic Mancuso Group, and it's going to feature a chamber ensemble and some of Canada's most eclectic musicians. And I just want to wish you a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this beautiful weather, and peace and much love. On behalf of the guys, you want to say something before we go?
Stay healthy, everybody.
Yes.
We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this soon.
Yeah.
This is
We'll see you
Peter
at the end.
Gabriel's "Loved to Be Loved."
Ciao.
Cheers, everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao.
So, you know how people are. This one's for you, Vinny. When they're all gone much too far. I love my brother, Vinny. Wines are made. Still, there's something you should know that I could not let show. The fear of letting go. And in this moment, I need to be needed. With this darkness all around me, I want to be loved. And in this emptiness and fear, I want to be wanted. Yes, I love to be loved. Oh, I love to be loved. I love to be loved. Doesn't everybody want to be loved? I cry the way that babies cry, the way they can't deny, the way they feel. Words, they climb all over you till they uncover you from where you hide. And in this moment, I need to be needed. When my this so familiar craving. I've been here before, this way of behaving. Don't know what the hell I'm saving anymore. Let it pass, let it go, let it leave. From the deepest place I grieve. This time I believe, and I let go. Yes, I let go. I can't let go of this. Though it takes all the strength in me, when all the world can see I'm losing such a central part of me, I can't let go of it. You know I mean it. You know I mean it. I recognize how much we've lost, but I cannot face the cost. Yes, I love to be loved. Yes, I love to be loved. I love to be loved. Yes, I love to be loved. Ooh, yeah. I love to be loved. Ooh, yeah. I love to be loved. Ooh, yeah. Doesn't everybody wanna be loved? Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Doesn't everybody wanna be loved? Ooh, yes, love. To be loved. Yeah. Oh, this is way too much fun. Isn't this place wonderful? Are you guys enjoying Revolution recording?